Hey, everybody. What is happening? It is Adam Posner here. I am host of the podcast and founder of NHP Talent Group. I am with my main man, Joe Mullings. He is the founder and CEO of the Mullings Group companies and also Dragonfly Stories. And today we're doing a quick little segment. Let me give you a little bit of a backstory here. So I was lucky enough to be welcomed by Joe and crew at the Mullings Group offices and Media Empire Studio in South Florida in February. Joe gave me a tour. He showed me behind the scenes. And I spoke about it before. I mean, that lit my fire. That inspired me on so many different levels. And as Joe and I were walking around and talking, he said something a couple of times that caught my attention. Instead of saying talent acquisition, he said talent access. And it really got me thinking. I'm like, talent access? What the heck does that mean? So Joe and I have been going back and forth a little bit, and we are ready to share Joe's magical expression with the world here. So Joe Mullings, great to see you again. As always, please tell us about talent access versus acquisition.
Sure thing. Ben, thanks again for having me on. I always appreciate it. I do cherish our relationship. The things you're doing for the industry are incredibly noble and generous. So keep up
Thank
the
you.
great work. Yeah, so, acquisition is not incorrect, but it's less than ideal. And acquisition to me always has inferred a one-way street. And, the recruiting industry or the talent acquisition business always was the company in charge and the candidate or the individual, as I call them, as the beggar, the asker. And in the world we're moving into right now, I believe that the individual has the power. At times, it might not feel like that. But talent access is a two-way street now. It means you're still giving the company access to talent, but now what you're doing is, in the world of employment today, organizations need to build an awareness and attention campaign around their initiatives, their goals, their desires. And they've got to create access to the candidates who now have a choice. It might not feel like that in the middle of this pandemic, but trust me, you are stronger and more valuable than you believe, or the industry has designed in the past to brainwash you. If you are a talented individual in your respective area, they should be providing access and insight and a clear line of sight to who they are, what they're about. And so that's why we spend so much time on building brand around our clients, because we want them to have access to the individuals to be able to look behind the scenes and see what they're doing. Acquisition also infers that there's an owner and a person to be bought. No way, Jose. Never. To me, this is, they are lucky to get you, and you need to keep that in mind. And as a headhunter, that's the way I've always believed. So to me, as a headhunter, I care less about the company. I care more about the people. And then that's not BS, because if I can get my specialty in my desk, in my practice, to have all the people in my industry follow what I say, I can then demand from the companies what I want on your behalf. So that's the reason why we had come up with the word talent access. It's access two ways, not acquisition, which used to be a one-way street.
That's incredible. I mean, that's really changing the mindset, the paradigm of the whole relationship between client, candidate, and recruiter. And for everyone that's out there, whatever side of the equation that you're on, if you're either a hiring manager, you're a candidate, you're a client, you're an external recruiter, you're an internal recruiter, I want you to think about what Joe said here. And we're not saying that everybody needs to accept this. We're not trying to push this out to everybody, but just trying to introduce new ideas and thoughts in the process. Because listen, there's a lot of bashing going on out there. I can't take it anymore. So if we could start to take these small macro steps and micro steps to change the way people think in the world of recruiting, I think that's going to make a big difference.
Yep, you got it, my man. And I'm
Awesome.
happy to share it with you, and always appreciate the gateway to your peeps as well.
Absolutely. This works both ways. And everyone joining us, hanging out for this little segment on the podcast and Dragonfly Stories, and catch us soon for more great content. Take care, everybody.